So about 2 weeks ago, I was chilling on my couch and I saw an email pop up and it was from an anonymous sender. And I thought, what is this? Because the title of the email said, "Inside information, Indians will be changing their name." And I thought, oh, this is good stuff, but I'm gonna keep it secret until it's official. So I asked for some proof. And yesterday, the news broke that the Indians were changing their name, and the anonymous sender actually tipped me off one more time, saying that this was going to be the 2021 Cleveland Baseball new logo, jersey, and mascot. This image right here is coming straight from a leaked source from within the Cleveland Baseball Club. The 2021 Spiders are looking official, fresh, dope. They dropped some heat. The drip is real. The 2021 Spiders are my team. Now, of course, in all seriousness, I am joking. We have no idea what the 2021 Cleveland baseball team is going to be referred by. It could be the Spiders, it could be the Blues. We'll talk about all of the considerations towards the middle of today's video. But for right now, I want to talk about the Indians changing their nickname. They will no longer be referred to as such going forward. So there's two sides to this story. And also, I'm okay with this. I'm completely fine. I am a fan of Grady Sizemore, Francisco Lindor, Bob Feller. I am a fan of the history of the Cleveland baseball team. I root for them, not the nickname of a team that just to me, it's not a big deal, but I know for a lot of people, they're canceling season tickets. They will never see another game again. They're upset for their great-great-grandpappy who can no longer root for the team that he grew up watching. I understand that part. And again, there are two sides. The woke part of the conversation where the Cleveland baseball team is dropping the nickname of Indians because of cancel culture and everything revolving that. Whereas another angle, and in my opinion, the angle that I'm going to take is the fact that this is not cancel culture. They've been considering this for 50 years now, but the Indians brand itself, I'm pretty sure that it just got tiresome and toxic because in the last couple years, all we've done as a franchise is let our star players go. We've choked in World Series multiple times. We've choked in the ALCS a couple different times. The Indians brand as a whole is just toxic, and when you consider the cancel culture that is 2020, you're just not going to last, as evident by the 2020 Washington redacted. I don't even want to say that on camera because I'm afraid to get canceled, but they are now being referred to as the Washington football team, and I am just asking that if you are a diehard Cleveland fan, just hear me out for the rest of today's video, even if you're just a baseball fan, because I feel like I have a pretty good perspective. You know, I have a YouTube channel, so I'm trying to not only take my opinion into consideration, but I'm not trying to offend anyone, so I'm trying to get as to the point as possible. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Now, I appreciate everyone on Twitter who is telling MLB to change the name to the Cleveland Fuzzies or the Cleveland Fuzzballs. I would consider myself the mascot of the 2021 club because I have been through so many horrible things with this franchise. I've received 3-1 every single day of my life since 2016. Every time Lindor, a trade rumor pops up, everyone is adding me on Instagram. I'm getting spam. So I know what it's like to be a fan of this team almost as much as anyone in the world. I'll challenge you. And also, I thought it was pretty funny because 2 days ago, I posted a picture, hashtag Bauer to Anaheim, and then Trevor Bauer's agent, Rachel Lupa, she's awesome, you should follow her on Twitter. She said, "Hey Fuzzy, are you cheating on the Indians?" Hey Rachel, how can I cheat on the Indians if they don't even exist? So yes, I am still going to maintain that stance of hashtag Bauer to Anaheim because I really want some Bauer and Trout vlogs. Please give me that. But let's go ahead and talk about my concerns with the nickname change. So again, we'll talk about the cancel culture as well as the toxicity of the brand. It's just time to move on. I'm on the side of that argument because, again, a fresh start is needed. The owners as well as the GMs have done so much damage to the fan base of Cleveland that they're almost pretty lucky that we're still supporting this team because we lost Manny Ramirez, and guess what? He went to the Red Sox and won a couple World Series, maybe one or two, I cannot remember. We traded Cliff Lee and CC Sabathia, and they went on to have all-star seasons. They each got to the playoffs. Grady Sizemore, let me tell you this right now. He did not tear his body apart playing 150% every single time that he was on the diamond for the Indians nickname. He tore his body apart and played as hard as he could for you and me, the fans of the Cleveland Baseball Club and the city of Cleveland. Francisco Lindor is diving full extension, making web gems for the city of Cleveland. Jim Thome and Bob Feller, they are some of the best athletes in the history of Cleveland sports. So for me, I am going to take the angle of, you know what? Yes, it does suck that I can't wear my retro Grady Sizemore Indians jersey or hats, because if I do it on camera, I am going to get canceled. I won't be able to pay my rent because I'm done for. I'll be considered a racist. That is just something that I've had to come to terms with. If you guys are OGs of the channel, I used to have a big Indians banner behind me, and yes, I took it down. My views got better. I gained more subscribers. So I promise you, changing a nickname has nothing to do with the efficiency or the productivity of the creator that you're watching or that the team you are supporting. Again, I can point to so many examples of players that just pulled me into the game of baseball and made me love it even more. This channel would not exist without Grady Sizemore. He's on the cover of Sports Illustrated. Again, he did that for you and me and the city of Cleveland, not for the nickname of a team that other teams have changed their names in the past century. So don't worry about it. I would not recommend canceling your season tickets if you do that. In my opinion, while I understand where you're coming from, I just think that's a little bit soft, because your love for the city and where you were raised or the team that you were raised on, like me, I was born in Las Vegas. We didn't have any sports teams, so I just copied my grandfather. He's from Mayfield Heights. He's from Ohio, right outside of Cleveland. So I said, I'll be an Indians fan. But you know what? I grew up loving the Cleveland baseball stadium. It was Jacobs Field, and then it was Progressive Stadium or Progressive Field, whatever it is now. It changes quite a lot. I am just a fan of the aesthetic of Cleveland, such a hardworking city, and that is where my affinity lies, not with the team name. So that is my opinion. The other side is that this happened because of cancel culture. Like with FedEx, they pretty much told the former Washington redacted that if they did not change the name, they would pull funding. And once it comes to losing hundreds of millions of dollars, you're going to do what your corporate sponsors say. So again, they dropped the name. Same with the Indians. So if we are going to have a fresh start, I'm fine with that, because 2016 was a wreck. Ever since then, the only thing that has happened is we've had good teams, but they have not been properly managed, or we can't spend the money. We have to trade Trevor Bauer, Mike Clevenger, and Corey Kluber for peanuts. You know, pennies on the dollar. So for me, a fresh start is needed. They have not won a championship since I think 1942 or something crazy like that. So if they are going to change the name, my personal favorites are the Cleveland Chokers. I really like that one. The Cleveland Cheapskates, and of course the Cleveland 3-1ers. That would be awesome. Again, I'm not serious. This is completely me being facetious. 4 names that I would consider. We have 1, the Spiders. My favorite superhero growing up was Spider-Man. I was Spider-Man for Halloween, I think 3 years in a row, even though I got fatter and fatter as a little kid. My stomach fat was hanging out of my costume because I refused to get a new one. I was Spider-Man 3 years in a row. The Cleveland Spiders, going back to the roots, I would be perfectly okay with that. In fact, I'm thinking their new logo and their new look would be pretty sick. So if it's the Spiders, I'm all good for that. Also, if you did not know, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is in the city of Cleveland, so you could be the Cleveland Rockers. That brings me back to a point when I was playing, what's it called, club baseball. I was on the Warriors, and we beat a team called the Rockers like 37-0. So that just brings back old times of bad baseball. So not the Rockers for me. The Cleveland Steamers, that has a nice ring to it. I'm not sure if that's my number 1 pick. And then last but not least, we have the Cleveland Blues. I don't know if there is a hockey team called the Blues. I could be completely wrong, but I feel like there is. So I'm not sure if they would want to take the namesake of another franchise, even though it is a different sport. So for me, I think that the Cleveland Spiders is the clear favorite. Go back to the roots. Maybe they were the Spiders the last time that they won. I know Cy Young was on the squad. Foolish Baseball made a video on the team that lost 134 games. Of course, it was the Cleveland Spiders, but a fresh start is needed in my opinion. But if you are upset by this, I am not going to judge you, because this has been your favorite team since you were a little kid, since you were watching on TV or listening on the radio with your grandparents or your parents. I understand that the nostalgic feelings come back and you just don't like change. It's understandable, but to me, as someone who was born in 1996, maybe it's just my mindset is a little bit different. I am accepting of it simply on the basis that, again, my favorite players growing up, they played for me and the fans watching, not for the nickname of the team. That's just my perception. That is my perspective. If you disagree with me or agree with me, let me know in the comment section down below. But just to prove my point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play some of my favorite clips in Cleveland history talking about baseball, and I want you all to just sit back, either close your eyes and listen because you were young enough to the point where you listened on the radio, or just watch it and don't tell me that these clips do not bring up certain feelings and make you feel good as a Cleveland baseball fan because of the players and the moments that happened on the field that had nothing to do with the nickname of the team. So we're going to go ahead and roll those clips. I'm pretty sure that if you're responsible and you're understanding and you can, empathize with the people that are offended by this. I just don't want to offend anyone. That's my perspective. Call me soft. That's fine. This video is going to be very controversial, but to me, fresh start, cool. The Indians have been nothing but miserable in my lifetime. Yes, we make the playoffs. Yes, we make World Series runs, but it's never good enough. And for me, it's been, 80-something years or 70-something years. A fresh start is much needed. And considering the landscape of 2020, it was inevitable. It probably should have happened a few years ago. But roll the clips and tell me you don't feel a certain way about this team you grew up loving, and the nickname had nothing to do with it. Catch you guys later. Peace out.
Ripped to right, down the line, fair ball! Around third, Ramirez will score! It's a walk-off for number 22! Drive into left! At the wall, it's gone! Tie game! Rajai Davis! A quasi-shift now for Toronto. Hafner with a drive! Deep right field. Thames is back. He's out of room. It's out of here. A walk-off grand slam for Travis Hafner. From there, like that. You can forget that one. Wow. Oh, my. It's out of here. Out of the ballpark. Touch of all time for Jim Thome.
Bob Feller gives him a head start of 10 feet before he throws the ball. Watch the ball now. Bob's pitch is going all the way. It breaks the target right through the bullseye, a few feet in front of the motorcycle.